That was the diva Joy Dennis. We're going to have her right up. Hey, I want to apologize. The all-female Black Flight crew is actually 2009, as my researcher just pointed out to me, a bit late. But anyway, we got that straightened. My next guest is a vibrant diva, soul and jazz singer, songwriter from Jacksonville, Florida. Mixing in the house. Hey, she inherited her passion for music, following the footsteps of her grandmother. Having been active in the music industry since 2004, she hit the indie circuit globally with her debut single, He Awaits, released in 2010. Please welcome to our show my homegirl, Miss Joy Dennis in the house.
Oh.
What's going on, Joy?
Not much. How's it going with you, Clyde?
Oh, fantabulous here on The Conversation. So happy to have you on the show, and it's always a pleasure to have Jayville in the house.
Thanks for having me. Definitely.
Oh.
It's a joy to be
I'm
here.
going to jump right in because we got a couple questions. And I want to also, we're going to play another one of your songs in just a few moments. But I've been following the indie markets lately, and I must say there's so much talent being represented on their own or smaller labels. What's going on with the battle of the commercial labels versus indie? I mean, it seems like indie is taking over.
Of course. We're owning our own products and services, and, you know, we have our own control over everything, you know. So that's the joy of being independent. You know, we started our own label, Herb Garden Music, and we just want to keep everything in-house and, you know, have that control because it's our business, you know.
Wow. Well, you definitely are doing that, and you are setting the bar very high. Who is Urban Garden Music Group?
Herb Garden Music is my label that launched earlier this year, and we focus on distribution, promotions, as well as marketing and publishing as well. So when I got into business, a lot of this stuff I was not educated on, but the more and more I did research along with my manager, it was just the best way to go as far as becoming an independent artist and just learning the business and, you know, owning your own music and having your own royalties sent back to you instead of having to split it up in this way and that way, you know. And it's just all about control and just.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about that. You know, I wasn't going to mention this, but I'm going to throw it at you anyway. You're a bit of a thespian, I found out. You performed on stage as Billie Holiday. Is there possibly a side career going on here?
It could be. I won't close the door. I won't close the door. Back in 2007, I did get the opportunity to play Billie Holiday in a stage play musical, Billie to Badu. And it was a experience. I loved it. I learned a lot about Billie Holiday. I enjoyed the music and the emotion that came behind her music and the stories as well. So I won't close the door to any other, you know, acting, you know, parts or anything that's brought my way. I like to have my hands in a lot of different areas, you know.
Well, you handle yourself well, certainly in your music video, which I've been watching all day. Love it, by the way. And since I'm talking about that video, I want to go to one other song, and this is a powerful song with a serious brass accompaniment in it, and it's titled He Awaits. Can you lead us into this song? Tell us a little bit about this song, set it up for us.
Okay. Well, He Awaits came from a poem. I'm a poet first, along with, you know, growing up in the music field with, you know, through church and in high school. I started writing poetry when I was in college. And just sitting around writing, thinking about how single I was and how lonely I was, I wrote a poem entitled He Awaits, and the song generated from that poem. And it just encourages single women or males, you know, to just wait for love. You know, it's something that you don't have to rush, but you don't have to give up on it either when it doesn't come when you want it, you know. So it talks about being patient and just waiting for Mr. or Mrs. Right, and in my case, Mr. Right. So He Awaits.
Yeah, I think I was Miles Davis on the trumpet.
That was J.B. Scott, actually.
I love that song, man.
Thank you. the song didn't have horns in it in the beginning, but while I was in the booth recording, J.B. Scott just heard me from the hallway and came right in. And he was like, "Hey, can I put some horns on that?" And I was very open to it. I was exposed to jazz growing up. My mom listened to Miles Davis and Kenny G, and she always had her records playing. So I was always open to jazz music as well.
I can tell. Hey, can you talk about who helped you with this album?
My manager definitely helped me, Athleen Jones. One of the producers that produced half of the album, Tony White, T76, other producers, oh boy, a host of people.
Who was the trumpet player? Maybe I can...
Trumpet player was J.B. Scott. J.B. Scott, he's right out of here, out of Jacksonville. He's actually a professor at the University of North Florida.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Joy, why is music so important to you?
Oh, it's my voice. It allows me to just say, you can say almost anything you want to say through music. Most of the time people will listen, especially if it's good. And, I just love putting out great music and talking about my experiences and other people's experiences because everything can be relatable, and it's all about the fans and what they like and, what I can give them.